You ever look at your card balance and think, I swear I paid this last month, and somehow the number barely moved? That's not you being stupid. That's you playing bullet chess with rent money, making fast moves under stress, and the bank is calmly taking your time off the clock. I'm Rick Nick's dad, and I learned this the hard way at a late-night kitchen table, doing that little fake math where you pretend the minimum payment is a plan. Spoiler, it's not. Minimums are a hole in your cheese because they make you feel responsible while interest quietly eats the edges. So today, I'm not giving you 10 debt tips. I'm giving you an order, a sequence, a cutting board. Because you don't need motivation. You need a board and rules you can follow when you're tired, annoyed, and one bad day away from swiping again. First, we set the board. List every debt in one place, yes, even the embarrassing one, and write 3 numbers for each. Balance, minimum payment, interest rate. If you don't know the rate, you don't know the opponent's pieces, and you keep blundering into the same fork. Second, you stop the bleeding before you swing a sword. That means you build a tiny don't go backwards buffer, not a dream emergency fund, just enough to stop new debt when life bumps you. A flat tire, a medical bill, a random fee, those aren't surprises. They're scheduled attacks you never prepared to defend. Third, you lock the minimums like they're rent. Every minimum gets paid on time, every month. No hero moves, no skipping one card to nuke another. Skipping minimums is how you hand your opponent free material, late fees, penalty APR, and your confidence goes down with your credit score. Now, we choose the attack style, and this is where people turn debt payoff into religion. Snowball says hit the smallest balance first for quick wins. Avalanche says hit the highest interest first for fastest math. Here's the Grand Master rule. If you've quit before, pick the plan you can finish, not the plan that looks smartest on paper. If you're the type who needs proof that you're not trapped, Snowball is your opening. You knock out one small balance, you feel the board change, and your brain starts believing again. You're not bad with money. You were just stuck in a position with no momentum. If you're calm, consistent, and you don't get emotional when progress is slow, Avalanche is the cleaner end game. Highest interest first means you stop paying the worst interest rent sooner, and the total cost drops. But if Avalanche makes you stare at one big balance for 6 months and spiral, you're not doing finance, you're doing self-sabotage. Either way, your rule is simple. After minimums, every extra naira, dollar, whatever currency you live in, goes to one target debt only. One, not a little everywhere. Spreading extra money across 5 balances feels responsible, but it's the slowest way to change your life because nothing dies. While that target is getting hit, you do one more defensive move. Remove the easy blunders. Unsave the card from shopping apps. Lower the limit if you can without fees. Put the card somewhere inconvenient. You don't need willpower, you need friction, because willpower expires at 11:47 p.m. Now, let's talk about the quiet killer, lifestyle math. People try to pay off debt while still paying for a lifestyle that created it, and they call it discipline. That's not discipline, that's denial. If you've got subscriptions you forgot about, random transfers, and small weekend spending, that's mold on the cheese. Clean it or it spreads. Here's a move I want you to steal. Payday routing. The moment money lands, minimums get scheduled. The extra attack payment gets scheduled, and the remainder becomes your living money. You don't see the extra money, so you don't negotiate with yourself. You just execute. And yes, it's boring. That's the point. Debt payoff is not supposed to feel like a movie montage. It's supposed to feel like slicing cheese the same way every time, on the same cutting board, with the same checklist, until the block is gone. If you're in your 30s, this is your middle game. You're building stability while everyone else is pretending. If you're in your 40s or 50s, don't panic. Panic makes you sacrifice queens for pawns. You're going to play a calmer position, reduce mistakes, and stack clean wins. One more psychological truth. Your debt isn't just numbers. It's emotion attached to spending. Stress, boredom, people-pleasing, ego, I deserve it, all of that shows up at the checkout. So pick one trigger you know is yours and build one replacement rule. When you feel that trigger, you do a 10-minute delay, drink water, and review the board. Then decide. Your progress metric is not how I feel. Your progress metric is how much interest I paid this month. Watch it drop. That's you taking oxygen back. That's you buying future time. And when a balance hits zero, you don't celebrate by upgrading your lifestyle. You roll that payment forward like a rook, straight down the file, into the next target. Do this long enough and something weird happens. The noise in your head gets quieter. You stop thinking about debt every day. You stop having that background shame humming under your life, and you start making moves from a position of strength. Brief disclaimer, this video is for education, not financial advice. Consider your own situation before acting.